This is my seed basket. It's where I keep my seeds and other garden things. In this basket, you'll also find irrigation pipe connectors, tomato tape, twine, seesaws, and this thing. What are you? Welcome back to my bedroom floor. Today I am doing a full inventory on my garden seeds where I realize it doesn't look like a whole lot, but once I start taking things out of the bags, it's a lot. This is going to take me a little while to get through. Now I am sitting on the floor because it makes it easier for cleanup. This is going to be a little bit of a messy process since I do save a lot of my own seeds. There's going to be soil and there's going to be even seeds that come out of packets that they're just there. They're just out. It's going to be messy. So on the floor, I can just vacuum it up. I'm doing it right on top of a towel to keep things a little cleaner and so that I don't lose any seeds in the carpet. Today is a rainy, miserable day, so I figure it is the best day to do this. I'm starting to get the itch to get back out there and start gardening, but I'm not quite there yet. Now, the way that I do my inventory is incredibly simple. I take my handy-dandy notebook and I write everything down. Now, I organize my seeds by plant families and plant family adjacents. Here's what I mean by that. Flowers, it's just flowers, right? All of them have different plant families. Nightshades. There are different varieties of nightshades in here. Nightshades will include peppers, tomatoes, eggplants, so on. Here I have fruits. Fruits, various different plant families. And here there's melons and there's tree seeds and fruits. Herbs, many of which are in different plant families. Herbs is not technically a plant family, but if I keep all my herbs together, here's my herbs. See my point? Now I know that there are a lot of people out there that use the photo organizers that hold the seeds and it's plastic and it keeps everything nice and tidy and very good looking. I'm too cheap for that, so Ziplocs works just as fine. Just as well, works well enough. It does the job. Ziplocs. At the end of last season, I did not reorganize my seed basket, which I normally do at the end of every season. This is my seed basket. It's where I keep my seeds and other garden things. In this basket, you'll also find irrigation pipe connectors, tomato tape, twine, seesaws, and this thing. What are you? This is a guitar holder. It holds my guitar on the wall. I don't even know how you got in there. You go hang out over there. Whenever I'm going to plant seeds, I just take my basket and I head outside. Sometimes I formulate a plan. A lot of times I don't. I plant what I fancy. That's been my gardening approach for the most part. And I'm thinking that perhaps this is the year that I do a legitimate plan and then follow said plan and then, categorize and inventory and write everything down. It just seems like so much work, doesn't it? Okay. And now we let the organization and the inventory of the seeds commence. All right, before I get started with all of this, let me run you through my process of what I'm doing. This represents my last year's seeds. That is what I got on clearance, and I need to add it to my bags, and I think I need to get bigger bags. Here I have great mullein. I can't seem to remember if this is a flower or an herb. I think it's an herb. Here I have laid out all of the fruit seeds that I have. Then I began to write down what I'm missing and what I would like to grow for the 2024 season. The majority of the seeds that I have are fruit tree seeds. There's some watermelon, some cantaloupe, honeydew, Kajari melon, but the rest are trees. And now we're on to the brassicas. These are all of my brassica seeds, and they vary between broccoli, cabbage, lettuces, celery. I think I said broccoli already, spinaches, dino kale, different kales. There's some leek in here and more lettuces. My bag was crazy full, so I'm going to switch to a gallon-sized bag now. Your brassicas are the type of crops or plants that you would plant or grow in spring and fall. And quite a few of them will even make it through the winter. Well, depending on your zone, I do suppose. Here in zone 8, I can grow broccoli and leek, and I can grow all of this in the winter and not have any issue because it doesn't get that cold here. Now that I have laid everything out, figured out what I have, figured out what I need, I'm putting it all in my bag. It is so incredibly windy today. We are on a tornado watch until 6 p.m. and it is 1:30. I get super nervous by all of these high winds. And now I have my brassicas. I will be starting a lot of these seeds in the next couple of weeks. But first I really need to figure out like a greenhouse situation. Me growing my seeds outside has not been as fruitful as I had imagined that it would be. I mean, you grow the plant outside, the seeds should do really well. And I've come across an issue where it's like all of the seeds are super stunted. They need that greenhouse, the clear plastic, they need it. So that's what I absolutely need to do before starting seeds. Now, I really don't think that we are to the greenhouse yet. It was supposed to be a winter project, and it is technically winter until March something. So I think that I do still have time as long as I can get the garden beds built in the next month. Maybe we'll be able to get started on the greenhouse. We do have the windows already. And we'll just have to see how things pan out, I guess. Now I'm going to move on to the legumes. And in the legumes, we have beans and peas and cucumbers. Also, I have some of the mallows, which they kind of do all go together, I suppose, which are the squashes and the pumpkins and the loofahs and things like that. Well, I do think I want to keep them separate. I don't know what I want. And here we have all of the legumes and gourds. Back here we have spaghetti squash and pumpkins, different pumpkins. There's loofahs, and then we have beans and peas and zucchini and cucumbers. Now perhaps you may be wondering, what exactly is a plant family and why are you grouping these types of plants or seeds together? So I can answer both of those questions with the definition of what a plant family is. Plant families are plants grouped together in a family with common and like characteristics. Basically meaning they all pretty much grow the same, they all need the same type of nutrients, and they all grow in the same season. Beans are legumes. While they all do have different date to maturities, like for pumpkins it's going to be around 120 days or something, it's much longer than that of, let's say, a green bean, pole or bush. You're ready to harvest your beans in like 55 to 60 days. And your pole beans will keep on giving until the heat kills them. It is a little bit of a harvest at a time unless you plant a whole lot of them, which I do. I'm able to harvest every week from the pole beans. Whereas for the bush beans, I need to succession plant these every couple of weeks in order to keep a continual harvest coming in. Because for bush beans, once they produce all of their fruits, they're pretty much done. They will give you probably 2, maybe 3 rounds, but then that's it. Now in the legume, mallow, and gourd families, you will have what is known as creepers and crawlers, where it's plants that just kind of creep along the ground like pumpkins. And then you'll have the climbers, like the beans and the cucumbers that will climb up something and need a trellis for structure and support. Now the corn is technically a Picaceae, I think that's how you say it, Picaceae plant family, that's what it's in, with grains and things. But because I don't really have any grains, and I have 4 packets of corn, and I have a whole bag of seeds that will grow around the same time that also need around the same nutrients, I'm going to stick them in the same bag. And in the basket it goes. We're going to move on to the herbs. There are so many herbs here. It looks like there's not a lot, but there really is. Here I have the paracress flower. I grew this last year, and I have to grow more. I can never not grow this plant again. Got yarrow, purple basil, St. John's wort, fenugreek, nasturtiums, oh, what's this? Lavender, which does need a cold satrification period. I would need to go ahead and put these in the freezer for the next 10 to 12 weeks to get them prepared to be planted. Oh yes, cinnamon basil, that was pretty okay. That was pretty okay. I'm going to be trying pretty hard this year to get this amaranth to really grow and take off. I want to use some of the grain from it. I really would like to experiment with that. I think that would be fun. Calendula, pretty low on calendula. Oh, I love the smell of cilantro. Coriander seeds, they smell so good. Now the reason I'm not organizing this like I did the last few is because I pretty much know what herbs that I have. And I'm pretty good on all of the herbs that I have. I think that I have all of the herbs. I really do. The only thing that I would say that I am missing, and I don't know if it even really qualifies to be an herb, but it would be a tea bush or a tea tree. I want to be able to like bulk grow our own tea so that I don't have to keep spending $5 for tea every 2 weeks on little packets that are prepackaged, because when I did my inventory, I also did a full breakdown of how much of tea we use in a month, how much of cheeses and dairies we use in a month. And I started figuring out what it is exactly that we eat so that I can grow those things. And then the herbs that I cook with, and then the herbs that I use for medicinal purposes. That's really what I'm focusing my 2024 into this year. Now we're moving on to the nightshades, to which I know that I do need to do a full inventory on, because I do not know what I have. And I know that there are some things that I do want to get, like green tomatoes. I am out of seeds for all green tomatoes, but I want to see what I have. I have a whole whopping 6 seeds left of this, and I didn't get to get any of these last year because the deer took them. So I need to like guard these with my life. All right, we have a lot going on here. So these are all of the tomatoes. These are all seeds that I have saved. That's a variety of peppers and tomatoes. And then we have eggplant, and then we have okra, and then we have peppers. Did I say peppers? When it comes to my tomatoes, let's say nightshades really, but the tomatoes and the peppers, this is when I have to be a little bit more meticulous, I guess, a little picky with what I'm choosing. When it comes to tomatoes, I don't want to grow anything that can be bought from a store. So this year I'm going to be focusing on growing large slicers for sandwiches and to make diced tomatoes to preserve. I don't know why that was so hard. So I have multiple varieties of the big slicers. These Brad's Atomic, I have not been able to get a single tomato out of these. This is the year it's gonna happen. I want these tomatoes. I still don't know what they taste like, but gosh, are they beautiful. Brad's Atomic. These are cherry tomatoes, or grape tomatoes. They're grape tomatoes, which is like a cherry, but bigger. And then I have these cherry tomatoes. These are the super sweet 100s. Supposedly, they're supposed to give you big clusters of tomatoes. I haven't grown these before, but this year I will be trying them. And then I have these spoon tomatoes, to which I did grow last year, and I guess they did okay, but they're like the world's smallest tomatoes, and I have no use for them. But I might grow them anyway. The kids liked them. So the tomatoes that I'll be growing this year are in plans for making pasta sauce, just regular tomato sauce, and then pizza sauce, like a bunch of different sauces that are made with tomatoes. I even want to try barbecue sauces this year. And then I need green tomatoes, because whenever Josh, my husband, whenever he eats green tomatoes, it doesn't upset his stomach. And we figured that out last year. It's January last year. So I need to get more green tomatoes, because I only had a few seeds. It was like five or six of the green tomato seeds. So we're getting those. I also do have these great white tomato, which I still haven't been able to get any tomatoes out of them. My biggest issue really, it's not my gardening or anything, it's the deer. The deer and the squirrel, they take what they want and then leave me what they don't want, which is some crap. I think I may want to try tomatillos this year. I'm wanting to cook a little bit different cuisines. I'm like really tired of the food that we're eating. I don't know, I'm trying some new things this year. That's what's happening. I'm also going to need a decent amount of paste tomatoes, because I need to make tomato paste. Did I say diced tomatoes and sauces and crushed tomatoes? I also want to can whole cherry tomatoes. That's something I want to try this year. I think I need to look at paste tomatoes, because I have Roma and San Marzano, and that's really all that I have. Let me see if there's anything else that we can give a shot. Paste tomatoes. All right. Now, as far as the peppers, because I want to make the salsa, I want to try more peppers. I feel like I had paprika pepper seeds, but I'm not seeing any. Oh, it's in my hand. The Schwa paprika pepper for making paprika powders, and then putting the paprika pepper into crock pots and stews and soups and roasting them and things. And then this one, I have the I don't think I have to show everything. The New Mex Joe Parker. This one was supposed to be a roasting pepper. I didn't get any last year, so I'm going to try again this year. I want to roast some peppers on the grill, guys. And we have the ancho pepper, poblano pepper for salsa. Why am I having such a hard time right now? Also, I need to figure out, I know it was the poblano and a couple others. I wanted to make enchilada sauce from scratch, and I need to find a good recipe for that. Also for preserving it. Also the nata pino, my kids love these. The nata pino, they didn't get very big, and I think that's just because my soil was so poor. It was the first year, and a lot of it was clay and sand, and it really wasn't the best soil. So our plants probably got 2.5-ish, maybe 3 feet. I don't think they were that tall, but they gave a lot of, they were little nata pinos, but that's because I think the plant was stunted. We're gonna try again this year. And then I have some seeds that I got specifically for Landon. Landon wants to make Takis at home, and they don't sell the type of powdering things that would be needed to make it, but it does require Hungarian hot wax peppers. So we got seeds and the Marconi Rosso pepper. I think this was another roasting one. Point is, we got a lot of peppers, we have a lot of tomatoes, and we are going to be growing all kinds of lovely, wonderful things. Also, okra. I plan on putting away so much stinking okra. So much stinking okra. And in the basket it goes with its friends. Hi, friends. Now, these seeds are, when did I buy them? I want to say that I bought them in like 2019 or 2020, and they're still good. It's amazing. I bought them, and I went through like, I think I went through like 4 of these packs. Like, it was a lot of peanuts, and the squirrels just kept digging them up, and I could not get them to grow because the squirrels kept taking them. So I do intend on building cages, or even if they're like removable cages or something, for a few of the beds. I want to try 2 beds or 2 areas, at least 10 feet long, 4 feet wide, 3 feet wide, of peanuts. I want to see how many peanuts I can grow. And finally, I am on to the flowers. I get to the last one. I'm like, do I really need to do this? I'm so worried that it's going to flood in my room because we're in the basement level, and it has flooded before, and it's pretty bad out there today. Now, back in 2020, I wanted to grow a bunch of flowers that I could make bouquets from, and that didn't happen. That didn't happen. But I still have some seeds, so I'm going to be trying again this year. Maybe I should like prepare for that, like what I intend on selling in the bouquets, as the bouquets, to know what flowers to grow. These, however, the hollyhocks, I love them. Look at, do you see it? It's a black flower, and it's like, it grows to be like 6 or 7 feet tall. As far as my flowers go, I have a lot of zinnias and sunflowers, a lot of perennial flowers, like this is celosia, the flamingo, corn, that doesn't go in there, marigolds, nasturtiums, morning glory, which I planted once, regretted it for 3 years, and refused to grow anymore, but maybe we'll find a place for it because Landon really loves these morning glories. So we've got cosmos that I probably won't grow because I don't like the look of cosmos. These just look like weeds to me. I don't like them. That's my preference. Lots of sunflowers. I do plan on selling sunflowers this year. Also, I do need to get, while I'm thinking about it, I need to get the eating sunflowers, which would be the, sorry, I can't talk and write at the same time. The Titan, or the Mammoth Russian, or a large sunflower seed like that, because we love sunflowers here. Also popcorn. We love popcorn, so I need to get some popping corn. Also, did you know that you could pop amaranth? I learned that. I thought that was really cool. And, which one was it? It starts with a P. Orzo? I feel like it starts with a P. I don't know. Maybe if you know of all of the grains that you can pop that is not corn, put it down below in the comment section, because that would be fun for other people to figure that out too. I need a bigger bag. All right, now that all of that is done, I'm going to move on and talking about what I plan on doing this year. And throughout the process, I've been saying, like, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do these things, and blah, 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 blah. But this seed inventory does tie into my garden planning because I need to know, what am I going to grow? How many of those things am I going to grow? What are my plans for the things that I'm growing? Do I want to sell things? Do I want to just save and preserve it and eat it for the family? Like, what's its purpose? So my intention this year is everything that is going to be put in the garden must have a purpose. Whether it is for us, for medicinal reasons, for food for us to eat, or for selling. I do think that this is probably the year, though, that I will be selling dried herbs, which I have been preparing for and am very excited for. Apparently I'm so excited I can't speak properly. There are a few things that I need to buy. There's a few things also that I need to research on things that I want to do, like adding the tea bushes or the tea trees or exactly what it is. Also, I do want to see what I can do about getting some kumquat trees. I know that they are rather expensive, but I can't seem to get a kumquat tree to last through the winter, and I think that's probably because they are so young. I will start the kumquat seeds in the spring, and then I have like 25 on my deck out there, and they're all dead now. They're not coming back. They're dead. So maybe if I get a bigger one, also probably the greenhouse would solve that issue if I could leave the little fruit trees in the greenhouse over the winter. That probably would do some good. I also want to look at orange trees because I don't have any, or seeds. Yeah, I don't have any orange seeds. We have a lot of lemon. A lot of lemon. Now we are still working on our garden. I did get about one bed finished in this last week because I just don't have that much time to work on it. I was outside for about an hour and that's really all that I could give it. So I got one bed complete in about an hour and I think it was like 25, 30 feet long, something. The video for me building the beds will be coming out as soon as I finish it's 2. And I put up 4 fingers. It's 2. Got the one long one and the one beside it. And then I will be posting that video. I am also considering, though, waiting until I have it all built and then you see the entire process. So there's 2 options there. I have a lot of goals this year, which does also include building up our prepper pantry and ensuring that we have all of the necessities that we need. I really want to try rainwater catchment system off of our roof. I don't know how we still haven't figured that part out. That's something I've been wanting to do for years, though. We need to have more water than we do. We don't store enough water, and that's a thing that in my inventory, figured, like, I'm trying to figure out what are our downfalls. What are the things that we can improve upon or do better? And I think definitely water storage should be number 1 for us. Now, I don't think that we'll probably ever be at a point to where we grow and raise 100% of our food. That is the ultimate goal, though, isn't it? To not be dependent on the system, to be able to be self-sufficient, to be able to do the things that you need to not only survive, but thrive in this crazy clown world that we live in. I think it's just absolutely time that everybody takes charge of their own lives and grows some stinking food already, you know? I think that it is the time where everyone should start taking control of their lives so that they are not so dependent on the system. People need to learn how to grow food, how to store water, how to raise livestock. And I guess the livestock would include like chickens and goats and ducks and things that you can have in your backyard even if you live in a suburban environment like I do. If you're new to gardening and you would like to learn how to garden, I would absolutely love to teach you. If you're not already, consider subscribing to Hollow Acres Homestead. Hit that thumbs up button and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss any videos that I post. I realized that was like kind of out of order, but it came out either way. We're going to have a lot going on this year, and I really hope that you will join us on our journey to self-sufficiency. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time here on Hollow Acres Homestead.